What is cybersecurity from a developer point of view? Encryption of the databases. What is cybersecurity from a developer point of view? Encryption of the databases. Database encryption. The database is typically the most valuable information resource for any organization, protected by multiple layers of security firewalls, authentication, general access control systems, DB access control system, database encryption. Encryption becomes the last line of defense in database security. It can be applied to the entire database at the record level, the attribute level, or the level of individual field. Disadvantages to encryption. Key management. Authorized users must have access to the decryption key for the data for which they have access. Inflexibility. When part or all of the database is encrypted, it becomes more difficult to perform record searching. Data center security. Data center, an enterprise facility that houses a large number of servers, storage devices, and network switches and equipment. The number of servers and storage devices can run into tens of thousands in one facility. Generally includes redundant or backup power supplies, redundant network connection, environmental controls, and various security devices. Can occupy one room of a building, one or more floors of the entire buildings. Example of uses: cloud service providers, search engines, large scientific research facilities, IT facilities for large enterprises. Malware, a program that is inserted into a system, usually covertly, with the intent of compromising the confidentiality, integrity, or availability of the victim's data, applications, or operating system, or otherwise annoying or disrupting the victim. Propagation mechanisms include infection of existing content by viruses that is subsequently spread to other systems. Exploitive software vulnerabilities by worms or drive-by downloads to allow the malware to replicate. Social engineering attacks that convince users to bypass security mechanisms to install Trojans or to respond to phishing attacks. Payload actions performed by malware once it reaches a target system can include corruption of system or data files, theft of service / make a system a zombie agent of attack as part of a botnet, theft of information from the system / keylogging, stealthing / hiding its presence on the system. Attack kits. Initially, the development and deployment of malware requires considerable technical skill by software authors. The development of virus creation toolkits in the early 1990s and then more general attack kits in the 2000s greatly assisted in the development and deployment of malware. Toolkits are often known as crimeware. Includes a variety of propagation mechanisms and payload modules that even novices can deploy. Variants can be generated by attackers using these toolkits, create a significant problem for those defending systems against them. Examples are Zeus and Angler. Advanced persistent threats. Well-resourced persistent application of a wide variety of intrusion technologies and malwares to selected targets, usually business or political, typically activated to state-sponsored organizations and criminal enterprises, differ from other types of attacks by their careful target selection and stealthy intrusion efforts over extended periods. High-profile attacks include Aurora, RSA, APT, Stuxnet. APT characteristic advanced, used by the attackers of a wide variety of intrusion technologies and malware, including the development of custom malware if required. The individual components may not be necessary to be technically advanced, but are carefully selected to suit the target. Persistent. Determined application of the attacks over an extended period against the chosen target in order to maximize the chance of success. A variety of attacks may be progressively applied until the target is compromised. Threats to the selected targets as a result of the organized, capable, and well-funded attack intends to compromise the specifically chosen targets. The active involvement of people in process greatly raises the threat level from that due to automatic attack tools and also the likelihood of successful attacks. APT attacks. Aim varies from theft of intellect property or security and infrastructure related to the physical disruption of infrastructure. Social engineering, spearing, spear phishing email, drive-by downloads from selected compromised websites likely to be visited by personnel in the target optimization. Intent, to infect the target with sophisticated malware with propagation mechanisms and payloads. Once they have gained initial access to the system and target organization, a further range of attack tools are used to maintain and extend their access. Viruses. A piece of software that infects programs, modifies them to include a copy of the virus, replicates and go on to infect other content, easily spread through network environments. When attached to the executable program, a virus can do anything that the program is permitted to do. Executes secretly when the host program is run specific to operating system and hardware, takes advantage of their details and weaknesses. Macro scripting viruses, a virus that attaches itself to documents and uses the macro programming capabilities of the document's applications to execute and propagate. Macro viruses infect scripting code used to support active content in a variety of user document types, are threatening for a number of reasons. Is platform independent, infects documents, not executable portions of the code, are easily spread. Are easily spread because they infect user documents rather than system programs. Traditional file system access controls are limited use in preventing their spread since users are expected to modify them. Are much easier to write or to modify than traditional executable viruses. Virus classifications. Classification by target. Classification by concealment strategy. Classification of target. Boot sector infector. Encrypted virus. Classification by target is boot sector infector, file infector, macrovirus, multipartite virus. Classification by concealment strategy. Encrypted virus, stealth virus, polymorphic virus, metamorphic virus. Boot sector infector infects a master boot record and spreads when a system is booted from the disk containing a virus. File infector infects files that the operating system or shell considers executable. Macrovirus infects file with macro scripting code that is interpreted by an application. Multi-part virus infects virus in multiple ways. Encrypted virus. A portion of the virus creates a randomized encryption key and encrypts the remainder of the virus. Stealth virus, a form of virus explicitly designed to hide itself from detection of antivirus software. Polymorphic virus, a virus that mutates with every infection. Metamorphic virus, a virus mutates and rewrites itself completely after each iteration and may change behavior as well as appearance. Worms, programs that actively seek out more machines to infect, and each infected machine and serves as an automated launching pad for attacks on other machines. Exploit software vulnerabilities in client or server programs. Can use network connections to spread from system to system. Spread to share media like USB drives, CD, DVD, data disk. Email worms spread in macro and script code includes an attachment and instant messenger file transfer. Upon activation of the worm may replicate and propagate. It usually carries some form of payload. First known implementation was done by Xerox Palo Alto Labs in the early 1980s. Multi-platform. Newer worms are not limited to Windows machines but can attack a variety of platforms, especially the popular varieties of Unix, or exploit macro scripting languages supported in popular document types. Multi-exploit. New worms penetrate systems in a variety of ways, using exploits against web servers, browser, email, file sharing, and other network-based applications, or via shared media. Ultra-fast spreading. Exploit various techniques to optimize the rate of spread of a worm to maximize its likelihood of locating as many vulnerable machines as possible in short time period. Polymorphic. To evade detection, skip past filters, and foil real-time analysis, worms adopt a virus polymorphic technique. Each copy of the worm has new code generated on the file using functionally equivalent instructions and encryption techniques. Metamorphic. In addition to changing their appearance, metamorphic worms have a repertoire of behavior patterns that are unleashed at different stages of propagation. Oh. Transport vehicles. Because of worms can rapidly compromise a large number of systems, they are ideal for spreading a wide variety of malicious payloads such as distributed denial of service bot, rootkits, spam email generators, and spyware. Worm replication. Electronic mail and or instant messenger facility. Worms email a copy of itself to other systems, sends itself an attachment via an insert message service, file sharing, creates a copy of itself or infects a file as a virus or removable media. Remote execution capability. Worms execute a copy of itself on another system. Remote file access or transfer capability. Worms use remote file access to transfer servers to copy itself from one system to another. Remote logging capabilities. Worms log onto remote systems as a user and then uses commands to copy itself from one system to the other. Waterhole attacks, a variety of drive-by download used in highly targeted attacks. The attacker researches their intended victims to identify websites they are likely to visit, then scans these sites to identify those vulnerabilities that are allowed to compromise. Then they wait for one of their intended victims to visit one of the compromised sites. Attack code may even be written so that it will only affect systems belonging to target organizations and take no action for other visitors to the site. This greatly increases the likelihood of the site compromise remaining undetected. Malvertising places a malware placed on website without actually compromising them. The attacker pays for advertisements that are highly likely to be placed on their intended targeted websites and incorporates malware in them. Uses these malicious ads, attackers can infect visitors to sites displaying them. The malware code may be dynamically generated either to reduce the chance of detection or to only infect specific systems. Has grown rapidly in recent years because they are easy to place on desired website with few questions asked and are hard to track. Attackers can place these ads for as little as few hours when they expect their intended victims could be browsing in the targeted websites, generally reducing their visibility.